a seat. We'll get started. Appreciate everybody coming out this morning. My name is Brad Koch, and I am a captain with the Office of the Chief with the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. I want to welcome everyone here to the Charlotte City Council Chambers for our 5th Command College graduation. Today is a special occasion as we recognize 15 leaders spanning 9 different law enforcement agencies from 3 states. Each one of these individuals has spent the past 6 months being challenged both personally and professionally. Before we get started, I would like to recognize a few special guests. From our Police Foundation, we have Sarah Pozos and Will Whitley. And as I mentioned earlier, we have 9 different law enforcement agencies, and several chiefs, assistant chiefs, and deputy chiefs from those agencies are here as well, including Matthews Police Chief Clark Pennington, Monroe Police Chief Brian Gilliard, Charleston Deputy Chief Naomi Broughton, and Hampton, Virginia Police Department Assistant Chief Kenneth Ferguson. Thank you all for making the journey here. Now I invite our Chief Kurt Putney, down front to say a few words. Chief.
Good morning. Could I have all family members of those who are about to graduate stand and be recognized? All family members. Let's give them a hand, y'all. You may be seated. We know every time we have somebody who goes through something like this, they're going to say it's a hard, arduous task. It was pretty easy, really, for me. They're going to tell you that they couldn't do that without people behind them supporting them. And we appreciate that heavy lift on your part. There's somebody else here who I want to recognize. Deputy Chief Katrina Grau, would you please stand? Chief Grau just retired recently, and we told her she'd be back in true to form. There she is. Seriously, I like to recognize people who've been trailblazers and who've laid the path that we follow, and Deputy Chief Grau, you're definitely one of them. Thank you. To those who are about to graduate, congratulations. Remember, you asked for this. What you've done is demonstrated that you're ready for new challenges. I did not say promotions. New challenges. And a part of that is being ready for new tasks. It's amazing. I hear from Virginia down to South Carolina. Deputy Chief Jennings isn't here. He'd also say next is Tennessee. That's his home state. The point of it is we want it to be regional. When we started talking about this concept back in 2003, I never thought we'd be talking about multiple states. It just goes to show you when you develop a good product, as Deputy Chief Estes, and he's not here, but Major Mike Adams have done with this program, it speaks for itself. To the chiefs, assistant chiefs, and command members who've sacrificed and given us your people, we think it will pay dividends for this investment. We appreciate everybody here to take part in this graduation, and once again, congratulations to those who are about to be who are about to graduate this command college and move forward with new challenges. New challenges. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. This time I'd like to invite Command College Class Representative Lieutenant Shannon Huntley down to say a few words. Lieutenant Huntley.
Good morning. All right, I would like to take a moment to tell each of you what an honor and a privilege it has been to be a part of this leadership program, and certainly to extend my gratitude to all of those who have made this Command College possible. It has certainly given us a solid foundation for enhancing our leadership abilities. On behalf of the class, I would like to thank Chief Putney, Deputy Chief Estes, CMPD Academy staff, with a special thank you to retired Major Nelson Bowling, Lieutenant Jason Helton, and Lieutenant Ford. I would also like to thank all the partnering agencies and the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Foundation for your continued support. On behalf of all the outside agencies, I would like to thank you for opening up this opportunity for us to experience firsthand the emphasis you place on developing exceptional leaders. At this time, I would like to introduce our class speaker, Captain Stacey Terrell.
Thank you, Shannon. Shannon was our appointed, I believe, is probably the more appropriate way for a class president. But she was a great organizer and a great help to us throughout the entire process. It's not easy to put 15 command level people that are used to kind of being in charge of their areas and keep them on track, and we appreciate it. There's a whole list of people that made this possible, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to echo some of the sentiment that Chief Putney has shared already, and Lieutenant Huntley as well. But as you heard, my name is Stacey Terrell. I'm employed by the town of Matthews, what I say, to serve the people, the men and women of the Matthews Police Department who serve the members in the community of Matthews. And the reason I drag out the title, if you will, that way is because I very much see that as my why. And that's what we wanted to speak as a class to you all about today is how we developed our why and the way we look at ourselves and the way we have others see us and understand what it is, why we do what we do. I ask myself, why would I be up here speaking in front of such a distinguished group of people, such an amazing group of commanders, and as somebody that's from the town of Matthews and the Matthews Police Department. We were, I believe, the smallest agency represented, although we don't consider ourselves small, the smallest in number of officers agency that was represented in Command College, this being the 5th one now. And with that, I think there's a little bit of uniqueness to our class. I also believe this was the first class that had more outside agencies than CMPD agencies, which really speaks a lot to what CMPD is offering regionally, and as Chief Putney said, throughout even a 3-state area. But I come before you for a couple of different reasons. The first and foremost, to talk about why it is we're here. Second is also the opportunity to publicly thank all of those people that made this possible. It's valuable. 15 seats in such a class like this, those seats are very valuable seats. And just to be able to, I just personally wanted to thank you all, Chief Putney, Chief Estes, for your work, but also the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Foundation. We learned more about the Police Foundation while we were in this class. It's an amazing organization that Charlotte is very fortunate to have. And just like to again say thank you to Lieutenants Helton and Ford, who are with us every step of the way. Major Bowling, who just retired, so very happy for him and his retirement, but wanted to recognize his leadership through this program. Officer Wayne Embry, who his inspiration in pushing us further than we thought we could physically go. Captain Ryan Jackson and the soon-to-be Captain Patrick Matthews for providing so much time assisting us throughout the program. The list goes on and on of the many instructors and assisting personnel that made this college possible. There's just not enough time to list every name. However, for our sincere gratitude to everybody that assisted us and what we were able to gain out of this, we would like to give you all a round of applause. A third reason that I was chosen before you to stand here and provide our remarks on behalf of the class was because I promised to be brief. So I will try my best to encompass or try to give some sort of a sense of what went on over the past 5 months. Hopefully you got an opportunity when you came in to see the slideshow, pictures worth 1,000 words, and we did a lot of amazing things. As a brief recap, during Command College, we were challenged in many ways. I looked into the eyes of a fellow classmate and saw absolute terror one day as he was frozen on the ropes course, Completed that course completely despite a pretty severe fear of heights, and that was just one example of much that was overcome. That same person just yesterday morning before the sun rose was able to rappel off a nearly 100-foot tower in the dark. Overcoming those fears was an unexpected element to this class that we didn't know was coming. We honestly evaluated ourselves in cultural competency to better understand ourselves, others, experienced poverty in a way that I never thought we'd have been able to experience in just one afternoon. Some of the standard things you would expect: legal issues, liability, mental health, media relations. Those are the types of comprehensive things you tend to get in leadership schools and things of this nature, and this didn't disappoint as well. It was all very well received and very informative. There are also many other unexpected components to Command College. The most obvious is how physically demanding this class was for all of us. I'm sure the family and friends that are here today and the ones that couldn't make it but are back home have heard much about what we were able to accomplish through motivation and teamwork. I don't know if any of us were expecting what we went through with the SCAT, defensive tactics, and ground fighting. I know I have never, and probably most of us have never, experienced training so realistic. We felt like we were actually going to die in a fight. Probably too realistic, but I can say that it left a very memorable impression that likely never to be forgotten, and certainly changes our perspective on how we view physical resistance, use of force, and those types of issues. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the capstone event, but unfortunately I'm sworn to secrecy on that in case there's anybody that's looking to be in the future command colleges. Can't talk about capstone, but I promise it is survivable. We're all here and we survived an amazing event yesterday. So even though there was a lot of that and more, I actually wanted to come back to where I began, the why. There's no greater understanding of oneself than understanding your why. And it's very important for others to know your why as well. Recently, as a class, we were discussing leadership books that we have read and that have inspired us. One such book that has impacted my professional and personal life is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. In it, he describes that it is easy for us to tell people what we do, and it's often easy to tell people how we do it. But people usually make decisions on feelings. What we do and how we do it can consume us as leaders in our organizations, but that does not do much for people's emotions and feelings. People will enthusiastically follow someone who leads them when they know why they do what they do. There are leaders and there are those that lead. Leaders hold a position of power and authority, but those that inspire us, whether it's an organization or an individual, we will follow those that lead, not because we have to, but because we want to. Ultimately, we're doing it for ourselves, and the people that are in our organizations are doing it for themselves. That's the kind of leadership we should be striving for as individuals and hopefully influencing in our organizations. Command College has been an excellent opportunity for us to better understand our why. Now it is our job to make others know our why through our leadership example. For those that know Wayne Embry, you know that he's very inspirational. Wayne couldn't be here today, but people that know Wayne know his why. He clearly enjoys motivating others and especially motivated us. At yesterday's conclusion, Wayne asked each of us to state that what we wanted our legacy to be. These are the answers that were given by Command College number 5. Leaving it better than I found it through personal development and succession planning. Fair and reliable. Developing officers to make sound decisions and to stand up for what's right in the agency. Motivate people with the courage to protect them. Fair with the best interest of the troops in mind. Develop officers to be the best they can be. Trend-setting and finding new paths. Family first. Fair, honest, and consistent. Mentoring the next generation, but always remaining a student. Taking care of the troops. Always giving your best while trying to do better. Regardless of your rank or assignment, Always work to be the leader within your team. Dependable and fair, known to develop future leaders, and holding all ranks accountable. Those are what these leaders, myself included, see as our legacy that we strive to work towards. This is what Command College has helped us to do for our organizations, for us individually, and for all those that we'll work with on our teams. So once again, I'd like to say thank you to the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, the foundation, the friends, the family, and all the instructors and people that were made it possible and supported us.
This time I'd like Deputy Chief Jeff Estes to say a few words. Chief.
Thank you, Brad. I'll be brief. We'll get the graduation proceedings on very shortly. I'm sure that's what you guys are waiting on. I do want to echo a special thanks to Chief Putney and also the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Foundation. And I'll speak on behalf of Chief Putney as well. I have found as you get closer to retirement time, professional development personally tends to fade somewhat away from looking to see what you may as an individual achieve or be or do, and turn toward what you can put into others so that they may achieve. That's where fulfillment for me, and I believe I speak for the chief, is now. So when we have a command college that comes through, it is especially fulfilling to see a group of young leaders who will be the replacement for folks old heads like us that are leaving. It is absolutely inspiring, builds confidence in myself for the department, but also the community. So those of you in attendance today, you're looking at our future leaders. I couldn't be more proud. I really couldn't. Just so you know some of the things that they did, this is about a 5.5-month deal where during that time they're holding down their regular jobs, commitments with family, and in the meantime they're coming and getting physically challenged. They have research projects that span the entire 5.5 months, a couple of them. They have outside agency visits where they go to agencies, other agencies outside the state and inside the state to bring back an assessment from what they see. They have all the things that you talked about and even more. We teach them how to eat, greet, and tweet properly, of all things. They go to NASCAR and learn the teamwork of learn how to do a pit change deal. They spend a lot of time together, and they bond together as a group through arduous, challenging physical tasks, let's say. But the biggest thing that I emphasize to them when I come and speak to the groups is that the biggest thing that we wanted them to do was to get better physically, to get better mentally, and get better as leaders. And the principal way I have found that we do that, and I challenge them, is that you look inside yourself to find your weaknesses. Find a way to turn your weaknesses into your strengths. Secondly, once you do that, then begin to pour yourself into others as you pour yourself into your own professional acumen, and then you'll look around and find leadership has found you. I'm very proud of this Class 5. I look forward to more classes in the future. Well done, Class 005. Let's graduate.
All right, now we will get on with the main event. I will call each graduate down here individually, and we will start with Captain Keela Bell. Captain Bell has worked for the North Carolina State Highway Patrol for the past 22 years, and she is currently the troop commander for Troop H out of Monroe, North Carolina.
I never controlled this thing.
Captain Luke Sell. Yeah, if there is family here and would like to come down and join them, feel free.
You really don't have the option, so if you're a family member, please.
Come on down. Captain Bell, we'll get you in a minute here. Get your family ready. Captain Sell has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 23 years and is currently the commander for the University City Division.
Yes, absolutely.
Captain Bell, if you'd like to come back down for an encore.
That's more like it.
Captain Stacen Terrell. Captain Terrell has worked for the Matthews Police Department for the past 12 years. And prior to joining Matthews, he was with the Asheville Police Department for 8 years. Captain Terrell is currently the Patrol Division Commander. Captain Rebecca Warren. If any family with Captain Warren is here, you can make your way down. Captain Warren has worked for the Hampton Police Department in Virginia for 18 years. Prior to joining the Hampton Police Department, Captain Warren was a sheriff's deputy with the San Diego Sheriff's Department for 6 years. Captain Warren is currently the captain over the department's support services, where she serves as the Support Services Branch Deputy Commander, which oversees communications, real-time crime center, research and planning, records, special events, almost done, school resource officers, and Homeland Security. Lieutenant Michael Abendanza. Lieutenant Abendanza has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for 16 years. He currently works in the North Tryon Division, where he supervises special operations. Lieutenant Abendanza has also been a member of the SWAT team for the past 13 years. Lieutenant Tom Adams. Lieutenant Adams has worked for the Charleston, South Carolina Police Department for 20 years. He is currently the department's training commander. Lieutenant Rick Alston. Lieutenant Alston has worked for the Greensboro Police Department for the past 20 years. He is currently supervising the Special Operations and Vice and Narcotics Division. It's all about the hardware. Lieutenant Brett Balamucky. Lieutenant Balamaki has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 22 years. He is currently assigned to the Central Division, where he supervises special operations. Lieutenant Jeremiah Blow. Lieutenant Blow has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 21 years and is currently the Executive Officer to the Deputy Chief over Investigative Services Group. Lieutenant Jason Colquitt. Lieutenant Colquitt has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 20 years. He's currently assigned to the Eastway Division, where he supervises patrol. Lieutenant Stephen Flatt. Lieutenant Flatt has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 18 years. He is currently assigned to the North Division, where he supervises special operations. Lieutenant J.D. Furr. Lieutenant Furr has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 21 years. He is currently the Executive Officer to the Deputy Chief over the Special Services Group. I was told to remind you that the Deputy Chief over Special Services Group is the best one from the Deputy Chief of the Special Services Group. Next up is Lieutenant Shannon Huntley. Lieutenant Huntley has worked for the Monroe Police Department for 16 years. Prior to joining Monroe, Lieutenant Huntley was a Deputy Sheriff with the Rowan County Sheriff's Office for 8 years, as she currently supervises a patrol division. Lieutenant Scott Wright. Lieutenant Wright has worked for the Winston-Salem Police Department for 22.5 years. Lieutenant Wright currently supervises Platoon 6 in the Field Service Bureau. Our final graduate is Lieutenant Michelle Wyatt. Lieutenant Wyatt has worked for the Virginia Beach Police Department for 24 years. Lieutenant Wyatt currently supervises the overnight shift in the 4th Police Precinct in the Operations Division. At this time, if all 15 of our Command College graduates could please stand and be recognized for this outstanding achievement. All right, everybody may be seated. Chief Putney facilitated the development and institution of our first Command College back in 2016. Before today, 52 leaders had graduated from this prestigious program from a multitude of different departments throughout the Southeast. The program was created to develop leaders and prepare them for complex, contemporary challenges through innovative techniques, superior education, research, and a network of professional partnerships. The program identifies emerging leaders from the rank of lieutenant and captain, and there is a competitive application process to be considered for the Command College. Graduates in the 4 previous continue to be promoted to higher ranks within their respective departments, and I'm confident this group of 15 will continue to rise higher. John Maxwell is a best-selling author and speaker who's written many books primarily focusing on leadership. One of his books is called The 360-Degree Leader. In it, he talks about developing your influence, not based on your title, but how you motivate and affect the individuals around you. Wherever you are in your organization, you must learn to lead up, lead across, and lead down. The number one misconception people have about leadership is the belief that leadership comes from having a position or title. This position myth that you can't lead if you're not at the top couldn't be further from the truth. The erroneous thinking of this myth is that leadership is position and not influence. When potential leaders understand the dynamics of gaining influence with people, they come to realize that position has little to do with genuine leadership. You can lead others from anywhere in the organization, and when you do, you make the organization better. The bottom line is this: leadership is a choice you make, not a place you sit. Anyone can choose to become a leader wherever he or she is. You can make a difference no matter where you are. As our newest Command College graduates, you are intimately familiar with the importance of taking care of each other and leading from where you are. One of the basic Command College tenets is that the team can always go further than any one individual can go by themselves. And make sure you take care of your team. Thank you all for coming. This time I'd like to ask you to join us outside for refreshments where we celebrate the 15 extraordinary leaders. Thank you for coming. Have a good day. Don't go anywhere. Have a seat. Apparently, Lieutenant Huntley is coming down for a brief presentation.
My apologies. Could I ask Chief Putney and Deputy Chief Estes to join me, please? Yes. Yeah. On behalf of Command College 5, we would like, excuse me. On behalf of Command College 5, we would like to present you with our class plaque, which has our challenge coins and all of our names on it. Thank you again, everybody, for coming and for the opportunity to be a part of this.